Ladies and gentlemen, finally some Graham Potter media, and we get to see the first few words that he's said and analyze all of that. Some contract extension conversation with N'Golo Kante. I don't know how I feel about some of these things that's transpiring. Yeah, welcome to Chelsea News Blitz. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another segment of Chelsea News Blitz. Quite a lot of things to go through, so let's get on with it straight away. First up, ladies and gentlemen, N'Golo Kante's situation. Apparently an offer was made for his contract extension, but he's rejected it. But let's have a look at the context. Chelsea's ownership made a 2+1 year contract offer to Kanté, but he's not accepting as he wants longer. Injuries are being factored in. This is from David Ornstein, the Orny, so you know this is quite legitimate. Kanté is very happy representing Chelsea and ending his career there, but the situation needs to be resolved and lines of communication remain open. It's said that 2 Premier League clubs, as well as one in Germany, Spain and France, would look to pounce. I mean, of course, his stocks are going to be well received worldwide, European-wide, of course. France, PSG, I'm pretty certain. Germany, one club in Germany, probably Bayern Munich, who knows. And Spain, I could see either of Real Madrid or Barcelona going after him. But look, he's not accepting of this 2+1 year. This is the summary, basically, from David Ornstein. Chelsea made N'Golo Kante a verbal offer last month of new 2+1 year contract. 31-year-old unwilling to accept once longer. Old regime discussed 3+1. So this was the Roman era. CFC factoring injuries, if not sorted. Free agent 2023. 2 Premier League clubs and others in Europe. Look, I don't get why Kanté is not accepting 2+1. Like, you're 31 and you've not been fit for a while, my man. God knows, like maybe 2 to 3 seasons now, you've not been properly fit from that Sarri season onwards. Even under Frank Lampard, you weren't properly fit. Definitely under Thomas Tuchel, you weren't properly fit. 2+1 year, you're 31. That will take you to 34. I'd think that's probably a very generous offer, 2+1 year. But I get it from the player's point of view. You're looking at, this is your one last contract before you wrap things up, or maybe you go to MLS or wherever else players go to when they want to finish up their career. 3+1 year, that's 4. You're looking at moving to 35. I guess Kanté is probably thinking, well, Koulibaly got a 4-year contract. Whoever else, I think some of the players have got some more time as well. I think Koulibaly is one of them. Spilicueta's got 2. Did anyone else? Aubameyang got a 2+1 as well at the age of 33. I think these are some of the things that's playing a bit of a factor in Kanté, that, hey, I'm younger than Koulibaly, I'm younger than Aubameyang. Give me one more extra year on top of what you're offering, since the previous regime was giving 3+1. But to be honest, I wouldn't entertain 3+1. His injuries do scare me. His injuries are direct correlation to when we don't perform as a team. So he's a very important player, don't get me wrong, but if we keep him and he's unavailable, he's just taking up a spot unnecessarily, and the wages are not cheap either. So look, for me, it's 2+1 year. If not, I think it's probably time to part ways with Kanté and look for the future for Graham Potter. I'm pretty sure Graham Potter and his recruiting team will find someone. They've done madness in Brighton, being able to find players like Basuma, Caicedo, so on and so forth. So I'm pretty certain the recruitment team will be able to find a long-term replacement, someone young, and build the squad with those players. Kanté 2+1 year for me is very generous. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know. The injuries are a huge factor. He's barely available. And for me to give him 3+1, no, I don't think that sits well with me. But you let me know how you feel about that, ladies and gentlemen. Initial negotiations have taken place over a new contract for N'Golo Kante, but negotiations are yet to take place with Jorginho over a new deal. It's unlikely that Chelsea will hand new contracts to both Jorginho and Kanté. I've said it. I think Jorginho's time under Graham Potter could come to an end because if you look at the Brighton team, and I know this is probably not the best way to compare because Graham Potter could do something totally different with Chelsea because of the opposition, the way they're going to play against us as opposed to how they play against Brighton. But I think Graham Potter will go for that physical sort of DM, robust, has the mobility as well, and at the same time has the ball playing ability. So it's not like he just wants someone who's a wrestler. No, at the end of the day, you need to be able to play good football as well. But I think Jorginho, his flaws are not something that Graham Potter will turn around and say, okay, we'll try and cover that in game and compensate elsewhere. I don't think he's going to do that. I'll be surprised, if he is played quite often, and it'll be a refreshing thing to see exactly how Graham Potter utilizes Jorginho. But I get the feeling, I agree with this. It's probably either going to be Kante or Jorginho, not both. And right now, I feel like maybe there's more of a case to keep Kante, but 2+1 year, not 3+1 year, because as I said, the injuries are an issue. Let's see what happens with Jorginho. I don't know how we let go. Could both of them possibly go out on a free? That'd be mad. Jorginho's always had aspirations of going to Italy, so this is probably a good opportunity for Jorginho to just run the contract down and go out on a free and demand whatever the signing on fees and salaries that he wants in Italy. And in Italy, Jorginho's very, very much well received. So we'll see. Once again, let me know live chat to the comments, not live chat, how you feel about Kante and Jorginho. Who would you keep? Would you probably let go of both and just bring in two new set of players and give Graham Potter a chance to build a new midfield altogether? Tuchel encouraged Gilmour to leave on the basis that playing under Potter would be perfect for his career development. Todd Bowley suggested he wait and implied without going into detail things could change. Gilmour was adamant he wanted to leave, though. Yeah, I mean, there's some words going around that when we did the Cucurella deal, Todd Bowley and Igbali, they inquired about Graham Potter way back then. Look, it's well documented. I think you guys know very well. Getting rid of Tuchel was not something that happened 2 to 3 days or on the day of when we lost against Zagreb. It was well in the cards. I think as some of the reports said, post that 4-0 loss against Arsenal in the preseason, it was always in the cards that they were going to get rid of Thomas Tuchel. And it's a sad situation because I like Billy Gilmour. Billy Gilmour is a quality player, and he's now found himself in a very, very sticky situation where he thought Potter was going to be around, and then now Potter's in Chelsea, and he probably didn't want to leave Chelsea, but he definitely didn't want to go on a loan. He should have probably gone on a loan now. See, this is the thing. You should have listened. But maybe down the track we'll get him back at Chelsea again. We'll see. Graham Potter, it's about creating. So here we go. Some Graham Potter media finally, ladies and gentlemen. Let's assess what Graham Potter has said. Good to see some words from him. They were decent. They were nice. I felt like they were confident words as well. So let's have a look. Graham Potter, it's about creating a team that competes, has respect for each other, and works together. I would say combination of football and human values. I love that because sometimes we forget this element, human values. We treat some of these footballers like robots. We need to understand them from a human point of view and then try and see how we can get the best out of them. I think sometimes we miss that trick. We just treat them as just a robot and not understand exactly what ticks them. Very important to understand that. I love this combination of football and human values. And also he has respect for each other and works together. Very, very important that this team learns each other, respects each other, and works for each other. Very, very important. I love this little comment here from Graham Potter first up. Further goes on to say, I like players to enjoy their football. It is important because that transmits to the supporters, and the most important connection at the club is between the team and the supporters. We like to play in a balanced way, an attacking way with good structure. I love it. I hope he brings that level of balance that he had at Brighton to Chelsea Football Club and takes it to a new level, because you'd think, on paper. We've got more quality than Brighton. I know in form it doesn't look like it, but in essence, we have a lot more quality. Potter, I'm going to give everything every day to give you a team that you can be proud of. Love it, love it. Hope he lives by this on a day-to-day basis, because at the end of the day, that's how you connect to the manager. That's how you connect to the team. It's the brand of football that you play. Very, very important. So if you can play a exciting way of football and at the same time a gritty way of football as well, showing the necessity to hang on when times are tough, but at the same time playing exciting football as well. That's the kind of balance that we want to see, and that's the kind of balance that you want to that you slowly fall in love with and you start appreciating. Potter, I want a tactically flexible, attacking possession-based team. I love this. I want a tactically flexible, attacking possession-based team. So you can already picture which players need to feel comfortable. Possession-based. We want to hold possession. A lot of our players are comfortable. I'm talking about from the back. Mendy, you better get used to it, man. You better understand how you're going to build up from the back, or else Kepa might come in, and a few other players as well. Players that are brave, that aren't afraid to make mistakes. I think this is a huge one. A lot of our players under Thomas Tuchel were too afraid to make mistakes. Now, I don't know why that's the case. Is that because they felt intimidated at times, that Tuchel will outs them out in the open in front of all of their colleagues, and they didn't want to make mistakes? But that needs to change. We need to have that way of football where you're a little bit more exuberant, you're a little bit more, risk taker. Forget about mistakes will happen, but if you're not taking the risk, what's the point? You're just going to keep playing sideways football. You've got to go through the middle sometimes. You've got to go through go for that early cross at times, and it may be intercepted. So what? But you've got to give yourself that opportunity. Do you know what I mean? So this is one that I'm looking to see how Graham Potter changes that, because under Thomas Tuchel, that was a clear showcase that this wasn't working out. That can get on the ball and show courage and really try to enjoy their football. Fantastic to see. Further goes on to say, if we can create an environment where people think that we are trying to help them, trying to improve and make them better, maybe they will try a bit harder and do a bit better. I have to remind myself of this, as it takes me 24 to 48 hours to come out of the darkness if we get beat. There you go. So look, there will be hard times, and even the manager finds it difficult during hard times, and they will also have to manage themselves. But at the same time, they want to be able to encourage the players to improve, to be better. And that's how you're going to get the best out of the player as well. So, look, very, very keen to see how that all transpires. I'm positive. I feel like Graham Potter, his experience in Ostersund, Swansea, and definitely Brighton, he's seen enough. Hopefully, he's seen enough around the blocks, and hopefully all of that experience will come in and give him the ability to manage. Some lovely pictures here of him speaking to Reece James, Cucurella, two of the wingbacks, or CBs, left or right CBs. We'll see. Obviously, the preview of the Salzburg game will be coming up. I don't know whether I'm going to actually make a predicted lineup, because I don't know exactly what Potter might do. I could, I guess, predict something in relation to how he played with Brighton and then see if I can emulate that. But it's two totally different teams, totally different teams that are going to come up against oppositions. Teams that play against Brighton will play differently with us at Chelsea. So, look, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. A number of candidates are under consideration for the DOF role at Chelsea, and talks have been held with Luis Campos. Campos is free to speak with other clubs, as he does not have an exclusive contract with PSG. Look, I hope this happens very, very quick, because Graham Potter needs that help, and we as a football club need that structure. As you would have seen our recent video with Baba, owner, three components, very, very three important pillars: owner, director, manager, and their backroom stuff. So right now we need, I don't necessarily always want Graham Potter to be in direct conversation with the owner. I think there needs to be a middleman in between who looks after the entire situation, looks after the philosophy, looks after contract extensions, gives good feedback to the owner, but then also provides good feedback to the manager, and is a link between the owner and the manager. And pretty much they are the gatekeeper. It's very important. They're the ones who speak to the manager about their needs, and then goes out there and finds the players that will accommodate to the philosophy. And the philosophy as well is something that needs to be decided with the director of football and Graham Potter, and build a long-term plan together. And then that gets conveyed to the owners, and then the owners will sign off, or they'll provide their feedback. So very important we get the director of football ASAP. And as I said, looks like Todd Bowley is very interested with Michael Edwards, but Edwards at the moment wants to take a break. Maybe for the short term, get Campos in, get us to clear out whoever we don't need to have in our club, and bring in, much like what he did at PSG in one transfer window this summer. The clearance that they made, PSG, and the players that they've brought in, wow. And obviously we know, we've talked about Campos yesterday in the video, his pedigree back in Monaco, Lille as well. Players like Rafael Leao, Victor Osimhen are the ones that he's got in. Now, a little bit about Cristiano Ronaldo, ladies and gentlemen. My understanding at the moment is that there is no talks about Cristiano Ronaldo, as Chelsea are busy with different priorities, including the new director. That means it's too early to know about Chelsea's intentions for January. This is from Fabrizio Romano. I don't think this will happen anymore. I just get the feeling maybe, I don't know, maybe Tom Bowley was pushing Ronaldo on Tuchel just to annoy him, maybe. I don't know, just so he can push him away. I would find it very strange if Graham Potter opts for a player like Ronaldo, when he likes a striker who's robust, can run, press. Cristiano Ronaldo can do that, but maybe not on a 90 minutes level. Definitely is a goal scorer. But I feel like someone like Ivan Toney is someone Graham Potter is really going to appreciate, and maybe that's the kind of striker that we're going to go for. And knowing the fact that Bowley likes Brentford as well, that's probably someone we might be going for as opposed to Cristiano Ronaldo. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea versus Liverpool expected to be postponed and won't be played at Anfield. This is from Simon Johnson. Look, whole heap of games that are going to be postponed. I believe 3 or 4 games over the weekend they're going to be postponed. London games, I think. London and looks like this might be played at Anfield because the funeral of Queen is scheduled for the weekend. So there's going to be some postponements. We're going to get the match against Salzburg. Look, in one way, as fans, obviously we want to see our football club play, and we want to see how Potter plays with this current unit. Very, very excited to see all of that. But at the same time, maybe it's good, the little break that we're getting allows Graham Potter to have this mini preseason and really get to settle down at Chelsea Football Club, talk to a few other players a little bit more. Obviously, this game being postponed, the next game after that is post the international break. So they actually get quite a lot of break. I know some of the players that will go for the international to their respective national teams. So how much does Graham Potter get to be with them? But whoever is kept behind, at least he gets to gel with them, and also just allows him to build the plan for the upcoming fixtures. So maybe this is a good moment to have a break, and somewhat of a good nature for Graham Potter to build out, and his backroom stuff to build out a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you felt about all the news that we've gone through. N'Golo Kante is the one that I want to really know from you guys. Obviously, all the talks, the media from Graham Potter, the first few words that he said, how you feel about that, let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you have. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time. See ya.